We're good over here. Yeah, next week it'll be a little different. We're gonna have it won't be on Restream. It'll be on we'll hook it up with Skype.
All right, give me 1 sec here. I gotta charge this phone.
You are fine. My phone's dead too, but I'm gonna let it ride. Yeah, the show should. I mean, it should go pretty quickly because
Yeah, I ran through the board. NFL I don't really like. College I don't like ever. And then NASCAR's a few plays I like though.
yeah, no, this week is a little tough. I think also we're gonna do a daily fantasy show too, where we do our daily fantasy. Like you can do your NASCAR daily fantasy if you have it ready right then and there, and then we're gonna do NFL daily fantasy, and then do our picks. So you can get into our pick show if you want it.
I posted what's it called? I was trying to talk to you there. Picture. Oh, the one pick I told you about, Henderson. He ended up having like 17 touches for like 90 yards and a touchdown.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right.
I don't think Shell touched the ball at all.
I didn't see him touch it. So run through the intro and the socials, and then I'll let you just recap.
Yep.
Your NASCAR stuff, and then
I was just gonna do like just like I think we should just go by sport.
Yeah. So just start with NASCAR first.
All right, if that's what you want to do. I was thinking we start with the college football, NFL, then finish NASCAR. But whatever you want to do, I was just following the sheet. But if you want to do that, it works with me.
No, start with NASCAR first, then we'll hit up the college and the NFL. Yeah. So give me a second here. We got 2 people in. That's cool enough. We'll start with the 2 people that's here. Oh, George is in. Let's get it. Welcome to the Gridiron Guy. It's your boy A2. I'm here with Matt Cassar, the NASCAR genie.
Gotta keep it rolling here. We need some.
Exactly. We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now. This episode will be uploaded tonight on all the podcasting platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon, anywhere you listen to your podcast. And then obviously playback will be on Twitch and YouTube. Be sure to follow our social media, Twitter at The Gridiron Guide. That's DA Gridiron Guide. And then follow us on Instagram as well at The Gridiron Guide. And obviously follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube. More content coming later as we go. And also be on the lookout for our upgraded website. It should go live hopefully by next week.
Upgrades.
That's all we're doing here. So again, let's pass along to Matt.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start right here, boys, with and girls, for all listening here. This is actually going to be a quick recap of some of the bets I went last week here for our, which is now week 3 of our official betting show, which still we're working on that. Working on the name still for it, but we're calling this a generic betting show here. I guess I'll just start off with like I said, some positives, which were the NASCAR race. The locks ended up going 3-2 for +2 units. So again, that's cumulative now in those two weeks. We're up 9 units in NASCAR. It's a great start there. Looking into this week's NASCAR race, I am not super confident in this race. So there's like 3 bets that I really stood out to me, really 4 technically, but they like kind of like share the same prop. But I guess just real quick, it's going to be tomorrow night is the race. It's like 7:30 Eastern time. It's one of the biggest races of the year, Bristol night race. First bet I have for anybody would be Ryan Blaney top 10. That's at -135. If you look at the last 6 races here at Bristol, he actually has led the second most laps, nearly trailing Kyle Busch, one of the favorites for this race. The one issue with Blaney is he always has issues at this track, whether no matter how fast he is. But again, I like to bet on speed, not results kind of situation. So you look at his last 7 races here, he's at a top 10 in 4 of his last 7. But in 2 of those where he didn't finish in the top 10, he crashed well in first place. So, let's say he doesn't win the race, but he still finished top 10, which you would expect if you're in first. That would be 6 out of his last 7, so minus 135. I really like that. Next one is actually a boosted odds on FanDuel. So one of my locks last week was Truex Jr. boosted top 3. They're doing it again this week, but with Kyle Larson. So you get him from normally it's plus 150. You can get him at plus 200 to finish in the top 3. He's very strong here. He's led over 200 laps, which is about half the race. And I think it's been like 2 of the last 5 races he's done that here. So he's definitely a contender. He's been strong all season long. Next one is, again, kind of piggybacking off of Larson. It's a Larson and Chase Elliott driver prop on DraftKings to both finish in the top 5. That's at plus 290. I love Chase Elliott this week. I don't know if he's going to win, but he's definitely going to be strong. He's won 3 of the last 4 stages here last season. He won the All-Star race here last year. In 10 career races, he has 9 driver ratings over 90 here. So that's, again, really strong. That basically means he's a top 10 car every race here. I like the potential for the top 5 there at plus 290. I love both Larson and Elliott. And then to round it up here, just a top 20 bet, Chase Briscoe, minus 110. In the Xfinity race, his last 4 Xfinity races here, he finished. That's the AAA series. He's finished in the top 4 of all 4, top 2 and 3 straight. And if you look back at for his this season, he's finished in the top 20 in 6 of his last 9 races, which is again pretty good odds for minus 110. And 2 of those include Daytona, which is a wild card race, and then the road course at Indy where he got parked. He basically got rules infractions, which why he wasn't able to finish the top 20, but he would have then. So those 4 bets I really like. I'll see if anything else catches my eyes. But outside of that, the only other bets I would say out there would be like an outright winner on like Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson. But outside of that, like I said, I love those 4 ones. And again, we'll have them posted up for you guys. I see the Fantasy G's talking about Martin Truex Jr. here for outright win. I don't really like that. The only thing going for him is he has a paint scheme for his significant other, Sherry, who was a cancer survivor. So, I mean, that's the only thing going for him for this race.
Oh, okay. And then, so Matt's been killing it on the NASCAR. It's definitely worth your while to tell his NASCAR picks.
It's been going so well, we had to move it up to leadoff here.
It's been leadoff.
We figured we had to get out of the, get a nice at bat here, get a few pitches, and then kick it off to the meat of the order here, our football picks.
Yeah, so we're gonna skip right over to college. There's a couple college games tonight. One game that I kind of circled and then highlight on is Maryland versus Illinois. So you got Tua's younger brother. I cannot pronounce his first name, so do not ask me to.
I have not sure it is either. Oh, hold on real quick. We got a Formula One. I kind of messed up last week. I had a tip. My buddies were saying to bet McLaren, and they're saying Lando. I mean, even the podium finish. I didn't touch it. I didn't bet a single thing on Formula One. It was a little too, I don't know. I didn't like the odds of anybody. And then it was a wild race, probably the best race of the year. But I don't have anything Formula One. I do want to see if they do any of those. No, they're off this week. They're off this week. Yeah. So, yeah, there's no Formula One picks this week. They'll be, I think, returning next week to Sochi, Russia. But, yeah, so the Maryland game, who they got this week?
Maryland versus Illinois, 9 o'clock kick on Friday, or today, obviously. It's at Illinois. Illinois will get Brandon Peters back, the ex-Michigan quarterback.
Look out.
So I do like Maryland to win by a touchdown. So you can right now they're -7. So I would buy a half point, give them to -6.5 to be sure you win when they win by a touchdown. But really I like some player props in this game. So we got Tulua Tagovailoa,
nice,
and Dante Demas Jr. Matt's like, who the hell is Dante Demas Jr.?
I have absolutely nothing.
So
if you want a callback joke, you were big on the DMV players. So, I mean, Maryland's probably full of just loaded 5-star athletes and 4-star athletes from the
He's not from the area. I believe he's from Texas. But I did a little parlay here, parlay action, same game parlay here on DraftKings. You can parlay Maryland winning money line, Tua Tagovailoa over 275 yards passing, and Dante Demus Jr. over 105 yards receiving. So you can parlay those for plus 195. Maryland is a sneaky team in the Big Ten. I think I said this earlier in our show about 2 weeks ago that Maryland is a sneaky team in the Big Ten East. Big Ten East can be sneaky good with the teams at Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State. Toss in Maryland there as well.
Do you know what's interesting with the Big Ten East real quick? Because I feel like if Ohio State hasn't looked that strong versus Minnesota or Oregon, that I don't think anyone's that elite this year. Ohio State will be a top 10 team, I assume, still. But everyone else, to me, are very similar teams where they're just going to beat each other up. But there's a lot of depth in it for once. Kind of like reminiscent of the old SEC West, where it was like even your fifth best team can beat anybody.
Well, Penn State has a sneaky good defense. They get Auburn this weekend. I'll probably post a pic on Twitter on that one because I'm still looking at that game. I want to lean. Early lean is Penn State to win. But, want to look at Auburn team a little bit more with Bo Nix, quarterback in that team. Another parlay I want to talk about, there's another game going on tonight. Malik Cunningham leads the Louisville Cardinals against UCF. So this parlay, I'm parlaying is under 2.5 touchdowns for Malik Cunningham, passing touchdowns, and over 2.5 passing touchdowns for Tua Tagovailoa. Nice. So, yeah. Parlay those two together, you get plus 138 on that play. So those are my two college plays right. Oh no, those are my two college plays for the night.
Yeah.
For the night, I do like some games for Saturday. I don't know if you want to talk about some games you might like.
Yeah, I guess last week wasn't our strongest week for college football. The only thing that I had really going was I had the parlay of Michigan money line, Texas money line, Iowa money line, Army money line. Then I used like a profit parlay boost on it. Everything looked fantastic going after Iowa. Then I watched Texas play one quarter, and long story short, they are not back. Wow, that was a terrible game. I'm embarrassed to have money on them, and it was definitely tough to see because Michigan looks pretty good, or maybe Washington was really bad. Either way, the only games that I like really, because I'm not super into college football, so I'm right now, and again, it's always new teams, new coaching staffs. We're still trying to get over this like post-COVID with fans and stuff. So I went very simple here. I went Cincinnati money line minus 170 over Indiana. Indiana, I believe, was basically the record was better than it should have been last year. They won a lot of close games. They also had a lot of turnover luck. Cincinnati looks like the best team out of the Power 4, Power 5 conferences.
Yeah, Power 5.
I like Notre Dame minus 300 versus Purdue. It's at Notre Dame. I just think that's just an easy win for Notre Dame. I don't care about the points. Give me the money line. And then I took USC minus 305. Clay Helton's out, interim coach. Didn't look who it was, but I just figured they have a decent roster. It's going to be stacked with talent. They're going to Wazoo. Washington State's not good. They're never good. So those three games, Cincy money line, Notre Dame money line, USC money line, I don't see a fault in any of them. It's plus 180. And then again, if you want to boost it, DK DraftKings has a boost, right? You can now to 240. So three simple games. I don't think any of them are going to lose. But then again, I thought Texas wouldn't lose either. But that's where I kind of sat at.
Well, college football is a little tricky when it comes to, these are 18 to 23-year-old kids. So, on any given Saturday or Friday night, you never know what's going to happen. I'm probably going to play Cincinnati with the spread. I think it's 6.5.
It's lower. I think it was 3.5.
3.5.
Because
okay.
Notre Dame and USC are both around a touchdown, and they're minus 300 money lines.
Okay, yeah. So I would lean towards taking Cincinnati with the points. I think they're a pretty good team this year. Luke Fickell. Interesting thing to know. I need some water. Luke Fickell's ex-athletic director is at USC, so there's kind of some rumblings that he might leave Cincinnati to go to USC.
So Luke Fickell was a former Ohio State head coach. Do you want to talk about the huge miss on your part last week with the Ohio State?
Yeah. So it was a lot. I wasn't alone. There wasn't a lot of people taking Oregon on the money line. The biggest miss was just knowing that Oregon was missing a lot of players on the defense.
Yep.
I wouldn't say Ohio State's offense didn't really struggle that much. I mean, they had a couple of miscues, not being able to convert a fourth down. Their defense just got obliterated. And then Ryan Day just threw Kerry Combs under the bus. So he definitely said there's going to be changes. Maybe someone's going to be calling new plays. But I'm trying to find a book that will post a decent odds for Ohio State to win the Big Ten, because now the sneaky play for someone to win the Big Ten is Iowa. The way Iowa's look, so
they should be able to walk to the Big Ten West for sure, and then
they're gonna walk right through.
We assume they're gonna get Ohio State in the title game, but you never know.
I still don't see anyone. Ohio State's offense is really good. I still don't see. I mean, Penn State is probably the biggest defensive threat they have. Still don't believe in Michigan's defense just yet. I want to see them play somebody of note on
I'll
offense.
touch Michigan in a second here. I'll rant about them, but who do you think looked worse last week, Ryan Day or Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer.
Tough look for both people. So
no, it was worse for Urban Meyer. No, that was terrible. No, it was definitely Urban Meyer. The players don't like him. So, all the talk from Urban Meyer going to USC, he might pull a Nick Saban and just boat. But really quick, I'm gonna touch on a game that I do like. Michigan State money line. Mm-hmm. I will play them on the money line, and I also play them on the points. They're getting 6.5. So I do like Michigan State this week going against Miami. Miami didn't impress me when they played against Appalachian State, and they definitely didn't impress me when they played against Alabama. So I'll probably take Michigan State this week.
Michigan State has looked pretty. They look pretty impressive so far. Again, it's only been a couple games. It's early in the season. Yeah. It's not against any strong opponents yet, but still, it's always positive when you're beating up on bad teams. Where I'll just transition to Michigan really quick. So I just want to rant now. I hate this Michigan team. They're going to finish 9-3. They're going to get the over, which I bet on.
Yeah, we both bet on the over.
This is the same exact team that I watched 3 years ago. I don't care who's at quarterback. It's the same person. Whether it's McNamara, whether it's McCaffrey, whether it's they put in McCarthy, whether it's Shea Patterson. Literally, it's the same exact player. The offense is the same exact thing. The play call is trash. They'll get 300 yards rushing versus a shit team, do a victory lap of how it's Big Ten Michigan football, and the defense beats up on a bad offense. Mm-hmm. Wait till you play a spread offense or a good quarterback or a good team, and they're going to lose. And I mean, I'm happy with 9-3. I just don't like how it's if it changes. I'm going to try to enjoy being ranked for as long as I can.
Do you think they lose to Michigan State? They play on Halloween, right?
Yeah, the 30th. To me, that game went from I was very confident in Michigan to now I want to say 50-50, but I think Michigan's still maybe the 60-40. I'll give it to Michigan.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see how Michigan State plays against Miami. If Michigan State is, I think they'll beat Miami. So I want to see how they look. I want to see how they look with spread. Yeah, go white, baby.
Get out of here.
All right. So any other plays in college? Or
college, I was very, very, very thin this week. Yeah. 3 games, all favorites, just money line together. Hopefully it works out for the best.
Hopefully it works. You can take. I'm surprised you didn't put Alabama in there. They're only
like it's like minus 650 or something like that. It's not going to change the line too much for me. And I could throw it in there because Alabama's not going to lose, but it did too much for me.
Okay. Well, let's transfer over to the NFL, what most of you guys came over here for. Mm-hmm. The NFL slate, as of right now, doesn't look too enticing. There's a couple things that I like. A couple of small parlays that I like. Kind of how I did with college football. Parlay Kansas City Chiefs money line with the Los Angeles Rams money line. And they'll give you plus 198 is what I last time I looked, plus 198.
Yeah, last week I went 2-1, but when I originally bet San Fran, which I mentioned in the first show, it was at -7. So that would have made it covered. 3. Yeah, so I'd have made it 3-2. But I will say now, Aaron, I think I am now 3-0 see you in head-to-head matchups after, or is it George? Whoever told me the Giants were going to beat Denver, and I was not a chance in hell.
Both of us.
Yeah, so Denver -3 was one of my favorites there. So
both of us.
You want to just roll through the schedule here and just
go right ahead, read them off for me.
Each game. Okay, let me get them real quick. I'll just start for my favorite game, just because I have up here right now is I really like San Fran -3 versus Philly. I thought
Philly.
I thought San Fran looked really good last week. It was versus the Lions. Just offensively, every possession was like a touchdown or a field goal. It's just points. Defense is finally healthy. They got Bosa and Warner, who are like 2 of the top players at their position. the Lions made it close to the end, but they scored a touchdown to a conversion twice in the final 2 minutes of the game. So to me, that would represent of how good San Fran played. Philly looked very impressive as well, but they played Atlanta. So I don't know. Atlanta is not did not look very strong there. So I think
No.
-3 is just great value. I thought it'd be more like a 5.5, 6, 6.5, that region. So to me, -3, I think it's a very nice play for San Fran. Even Jimmy G looked good.
Yeah, I don't want to touch. I don't like touching NFL games that are -3. So I might buy a point.
Yeah,
I might buy a half point.
It wouldn't change the odds very much either for you. So yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I don't mind giving up 20 cents to get a half point. I don't want to push. I think they'll win. I think Philly's defense is pretty sneaky, good. They're normally always good. They're front four. I like the way Jalen Hurts looked. Granted, it was against Atlanta Falcons, but I feel confident in San Francisco.
I didn't even like Hurts. Didn't play that bad last year either when he had the chance to play. And then the one guy who I was harping on how I love him a lot this year is Devonta Smith, and he looked pretty good opening debut. I think it was like 5 for 60 and a touchdown. So I liked Devonta Smith all season long. Maybe finally give them a go-to guy. Philly, they're an entertaining offense. I just think San Fran's a superior team. So -3 on the road. I'm not too worried about it. Next game on the schedule here, we're gonna have the team that killed us, or killed me for sure. We have Houston going to Cleveland, and the spread's like 13. It's the biggest spread of the week. I actually think Cleveland might cover it, but I'm not touching that spread at all. I'm not touching that game at all. Maybe a Nick Chubb over for rushing yards.
I mean, you can look at Nick Chubb's touches in that game if you want to, but in this game, I like Mark Ingram over 9.5 carries, minus 135.
I like that too. He was the bell cow last week. Different game script, obviously, but he had, I believe, it was 25 or 26 carries. It will be interesting because Cleveland's they're not like an explosive offense. They're more of just, they're a ground pound team first. So maybe that because of that, they can keep the running game for Houston going. So yeah, 10 carries isn't anything substantial. And it looked like he's definitely their RB1 over Lindsey and David Johnson.
Yep, for sure. What's the next game we got on the list?
Next game we got here is going to be Denver at Jacksonville. This is a game that kind of worries me because Denver looked so good in week 1 versus the Giants, and then Jackson looked so bad. So I just hate that, like, the mash of both those happening. I still like Denver, but I lean towards a money line and taking them with parlaying them with the Chiefs Ravens game, just other games you can play them with. I don't know. Rookie quarterback, and I think Denver's defense and Vic Fangio, same reason I used last week. I think they're an elite defense. And versus rookie quarterback who struggled versus Houston's defense last week, I think Lawrence may struggle again. So just the pass rush, the secondary, I like Denver here. Cover, I'm not sure about, but money line for sure. That's going to be a lot of my parlays. Couldn't come back to bite me in the ass, but I am all on Denver this week.
Yeah, so I have a parlay that we'll touch on when we get to a later game. I don't want to ruin it here. I want to say it when you get to the next game, but looking at some Marvin Jones props. Trying to see. Looking at some Marvin Jones props in that game. Denver, man. Denver's defense is good. Teddy Two Gloves.
he's the king of covering. So I mean, that's another thing.
He does cover.
Dog, but now it's a favorite, a little different for him. But it's still like that. Like I said, I like Denver in general. It's like just a tough out anywhere they go. They have a good defense, and you have a very stable game manager in Bridgewater. I know they just lost Judy. It looks like they said 6 weeks roughly, but
they got enough. They got enough firepower.
Yeah, they got enough out there to beat Jacksonville. The last thing I was interested in with what your thoughts were, just in the fantasy show, but I'm interested in what your thoughts were on Chark. He only had like 4 catches, but he had like 13 or 14 targets last week, which I thought was very interesting because it sounded like he was in the doghouse in the offseason. But then he was just getting fed last week. And game script made him to throw the ball every single play. But still, 14 targets for Chark is a large number. Yeah,
so I got to go. I mean, I was watching Red Zone, so they weren't around the Red Zone offense. I couldn't see how the offense looked. Looking at the highlights, it seemed like he was getting separation. So I like the Fantasy G loves DJ Chark. I like Marvin Jones in the offense. Chark still, the volume is going to be there for him. So if you haven't rostered him, I will start him every week just because of the volume he's going to get. We saw week 1.
Jacksonville will be a passing team. They'll be playing from behind every week. So yeah, it's
every
definitely
week. They are a candidate now to go 0-17.
They play Houston again. So
and Houston will beat them again because they did not look good. They did not look good. What's the next game we got?
Next game we got Saints at Panthers. Saints open up as I think 2.5 or 3-point favorites, depending where you look.
3-point. Yep.
Jameis had a huge opening week, 5 touchdowns in his debut as a starting quarterback for the Saints. Carolina was one of my locks last week, so they did come through for me, barely, but still I'll take it versus the Jets. This is a game where I'll touch on one things that I did later with it. I almost like Carolina with the points. I don't know.
Yeah,
3 points. I think they can cover. I think they can outright win this game. I think they're my favorite underdogs of the week, but Sam Darnold struggled a little bit. I just like they have the weapons in DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, McCaffrey's he's back to full McCaffrey form. The defense is a little underrated too, so I think Carolina against some of those frisky teams like Denver that I like to finish 9-8, 8-9, but they're always going to be always in every single game. Saints, I think people over exaggerate how good they are after that big week 1. So that's why I think it's going to be a nice, good game, division rival game. So Carolina at the points or the just as an underdog, I like in general.
Yeah, I was going to say, touching it really quick, Carolina with the points, and also Marshawn Lattimore is not going to play. So I like to play even more.
Oh, after getting paid, he decides he's not going to play. I like it.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
So no, I didn't look at any player props in that game. I just looked at it straight. I like Carolina with the points. I might buy a half point just so make sure I don't push and get the 3.5.
Another interesting note I actually had the Saints for you is what is your thoughts on Johnson, the tight end now? He had 2 touchdowns in week 1. I don't know if he's like a project player that Sean Payton loves to use. I don't know. I picked him up in a couple of my leagues, like the really big benches or dynasty leagues, and I looked at it and saw 2 touchdowns, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I actually might be a tight end now.
Yeah, I mean, so they still have Troutman there. They ran a lot of 2 tight end sets. Looking at the snap count, 2 targets, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Efficient.
So definitely, so it looks like he's the red zone target, which makes sense. So that's all I would play him as.
It's definitely hammer for standard leagues. Maybe it's a sleeper. Next game we have here is going to be my Rams going to Indy. The Rams look to me very impressive week 1. I kind of expected it because like the Bears, I don't think the Bears are that good, especially with Dalton as their quarterback. I believe the spread was it 3.5?
3,
somewhere in there.
3, yeah.
Indy got blown out by Seattle last week. The Rams offense is explosive. We've seen they can mix around different receivers. Stafford and McVay offense looks good. The defense things will take a little bit of a step back, as I mentioned, I think last week with just losing some personnel and losing Staley. Brandon Staley. But the Colts, to me, with Carson Wentz, he hasn't been the same guy we saw when he first came in the league, and I just don't think he's there yet. I think Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to take his over for rushing yards. The Rams have struggled to defend the run, and they really focused on living the passing game. So I think you could see Taylor eat, but I don't think that's going to affect the game or the spread at all. So I think I'd be looking for overs on Taylor, put him in some fantasy lineups, but then take the Rams -3.
All right, so I'm looking at Taylor's rushing. I think it's 68 yards.
Oh, it's easy to be over. The last 4 starting running backs versus the Rams, about 100 yards each game. It was like Chris Carson, Aaron Jones, Montgomery. And I forgot the last one dating back to last season. But 68 yards for Taylor, that offensive line. Taylor's a very talented back. I could easily see him getting that over.
So it's 58.5.
Oh, hammer that. I love that. Hammer that.
All right, mark it down.
Put that in my list. Maybe I'll throw it in my parlays too. I love that 58.5.
Stamp it. All right, cool. All right, those are the ones prop I circled to ask you. All right, what's the next game we got?
Next game we got a division game between the Bills going to the Dolphins.
Bills. And that spread is 6.
Yeah, Bills coming off a questionable. I don't know. I didn't watch.
Questionable. They turned the ball over.
I missed the first afternoon or the early games. I saw the afternoon games last week, but it looked like the Bills were in control the whole game. Then there was like a block punt, and something else happened where the Steelers took over. And I don't know if it's credit to Steelers defense or if that was just a sloppy game. I just again, a situation where I think Buffalo is definitely a playoff contender. You have a good coaching staff. You have a good quarterback. This is just a prime bounce back game. Trust the talent, and I think Buffalo's going to bounce back. Miami had a nice win versus the Patriots, but they're another team that doesn't really overly impress me too much. So I think Buffalo 6 is kind of a lot, but Buffalo.
No, I'm sorry. I lied. It's 3.5. It got bet down. It was 6 earlier in the week, and that was 3.5.
Well, I'll go against Vegas. I will take Buffalo up to like -4. So I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Home dogs always like taking the home underdog with the points, but I think Buffalo is up down theory. I think Buffalo will blow the doors off of them.
I also don't like Tua at all. So you mentioned the other Tua's brother earlier. I don't
Tua's
like
brother.
Yeah, I don't want to Tua Tagovailoa. Where the hell
Yeah.
name? Like I'm not very
Tagovailoa.
That strong suit. Next one we got Patriots at Jets, staying in the AFC East here. I think this is going to be a Patriots just dumping on them. Zach Wilson has some arm talent. Nothing really impressed me. They did not look very good as Carolina. Now you're getting a better defensive, more coach team in Bill Belichick's Patriots. Mac Jones looked pretty strong. The running game looks strong. Some poorly we call fumbles. This not good for the game script there out of Harris and Stevenson. But overall, Patriots, I think, a pretty safe bet here to for sure money line take care of the Jets. I think this one's the -6.
And it's -6. Really quick, I forgot to say a prop in the Buffalo Miami game.
Yeah.
Devin Singletary over 8.5 carries.
I like that as well. That. Moss was inactive. I don't care.
He's going to be active this game, but I think the overvalue and the fact that Singletary looked pretty good. Player prop I like in this game a lot is pretty juicy. Is Zach Wilson to throw an interception. Belichick is really good against rookie quarterbacks. This is -175, and I will parlay those two. -175 for for Zach Wilson, -155 for Trevor Lawrence to throw interception. I will parlay those two.
The 2 rookie quarterbacks versus 2 tough defenses, 2 good defensive minds. That's the Broncos game. The one thing I'll say too, on my game scripts, where I really like your Singletary 8.5 carries, is because like I said, I think the Bills are going to be control this game. You're going to see the second half, run the ball, time possession, get it out of there, get a good SW. That's where I see Singletary definitely getting some. I can see 8 carries just in like the second half alone. So that definitely could help them. Hopefully they stay ahead in the game, not fall behind, and lean towards Josh Allen's rocket arm. Next game we have.
Well, wait, and then my note. Sorry, Damian Harris.
Yep,
16.5 carries over.
Ooh, interesting. I think he had, what was it? Do you have 20+ in week 1?
He had, I think he had 21.
Okay, yeah, he definitely looks like the starter, and then Stevenson, the backup, fumbled. Michelle is gone, and then James White is not going to be a threat for carries. He's your third down back. So
he had 4 or 5 carries.
White did?
Yeah.
It definitely looks like the Harris is going to be the bell cow. Next game, we have Cincinnati at Chicago. Cincinnati is a team I like this year in general as underdog, which they are this week. The Bears, as long as Andy Dalton's there, I'm not going to bet on. I like Burrow. I like the offense. I think Cincinnati plus money or the points is definitely a good play to have. We'll see. They went overtime versus Minnesota, and the Bears got blown out by the Rams. So I don't know if you have anything on this game, but I just like the Bengals. Is just a team that I think they're very equal matchup. So I'll take the plus money when I see an equal matchup.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that game.
Next on the schedule, we have the Falcons at the Buccaneers. This is another huge spread. I think it's like 11 or 12. Matt Ryan looked like he was 60 years old last week. He looked absolutely awful. The offense didn't do anything. Defense couldn't stop anything. Tampa won the shootout opening night versus the Cowboys. I am not touching this game at all. I don't know where you're at. I am not touching this game.
Nope. I'm looking at my notes, and nope. I am staying away from that game.
Yeah, I didn't. Nothing I like about this game. This is a game where Brady's going to decide to give like Mike Evans 4 touchdowns just because he can. This is a game where I do have no interest in it. Let's see here. Next game on the schedule, we have Minnesota, Arizona. I don't know what you get this game. This game to me reeks of I have no interest in either. I'm not touching this one.
The only thing I have in this game is AJ Green under 30 or under 3.5 catches.
Yeah, I like that. AJ Green, he's like, where is he in the depth chart? Because they have Rondale Moore and they have
wide receiver.
Yeah, I know they throw the ball a lot.
He was on the field a lot, so
Okay. I don't like Minnesota or Arizona this season very much. This is going to be, to me, a very weird matchup. This is a game where you're going to be either way you bet this game, I feel you're going to be worried in the whole game. So this is why I'm just not going to bet it. I don't trust anyone involved. So I'm out on this game.
Also, I have Justin Jefferson over his longest reception to be 25 yards.
Ooh. So I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic since they really put him in the X slot or the X position last year. Took over as one of the best young receivers in the NFL. Looking here to our next game, we have Tennessee at Seattle. Another game I don't really trust. Tannehill, I've been saying for years, isn't good, and he kept on defying me and showing how analytically he was a great quarterback. They did not look good week 1. Now they're going to Seattle. It looks pretty good. This could be a shootout. I don't know if Seattle's defense is good again. I don't know if Tennessee's over their COVID issues, if Tannehill's back, if Julio's healthy, A.J. Brown's. I don't know. This is another game that I just don't want to touch. I believe the spread is 3 or 4. Do you have it up there?
What game is that again? Sorry.
The Seattle game?
Yeah, the Tennessee-Seattle. So Tennessee is 6.5 points underdog.
6.5. Okay, so maybe after all I just said there, I might take the points of Tennessee.
This is where I'll buy that extra point of 7.5.
Yeah.
And take Tennessee. I think they're gonna run the ball more effectively. I think week 1 was just kind of like a stunner. Kind of like with the Green Bay Packer game we touched on there.
Yeah, it throws off your whole game script. And also, it's interesting, too, because Arthur Smith's now in Atlanta, so you have a new play caller as well. So it's a few changes. You throw in Tannehill, like it was on the COVID list. So it's really weird. Like, a lot of things weren't synced up. We really should have hammered that game last week as the writing's on the wall. This is going to happen.
I think George is the only one we didn't post our weekly picks. We probably do it later this week because we try to figure out our schedule, our busy schedule. But George picked Arizona, and that was one of his parlays too.
Plus monies. Our last afternoon game, we have another game I am staying the hell away from. Dallas at the Chargers. Dak looks pretty damn good. Their offense looks pretty damn good. Chargers, I love this season, but they're just that matchup I just don't like. I want nothing involved in that matchup. I love the Chargers defense. I love Staley's the defensive mind head coach. I love Herbert in the offense. It's just Dallas is a team where it would not surprise you if they win.
I like Chargers plus 3.5. Or no, sorry, Chargers minus 3.5 for plus 100. Just basically because I think they'll win by 4 points. That'll be my only lean in that game.
35-31 type game going on here, the shootout.
20, yeah, exactly. I see them. Yeah, especially with Greg Zuerlein missing all those field goals, I feel pretty confident.
Greg the leg, former Ram.
I'm trying to. I don't have any props for that game.
The Sunday night game is some of the games you really liked. Chiefs Ravens. What a wild Monday Night Football it was for the Ravens and the Raiders game. If anyone caught that was just. I had Ravens as my locks last week, and I thought they were fine. And then next thing I know, it was 14-0. I'm like, oh, beautiful. I didn't have to watch the rest of this game. Then it's a touchdown game in the fourth quarter, and then they were not going to cover. And then with 40 seconds left, the Raiders still were able to go down the field, kick a field goal, force overtime. Overtime was the biggest dumpster fire of all time. And then we have the Chiefs, who had in Chiefs Mahomes fashion, huge second half comeback versus the Browns. You were like the Chiefs. The Chiefs had the Ravens number. What else do you got for this game?
So Mahomes v. Lamar Jackson. Mahomes is 3-0, so I like that. Touchdown score. I mean, obviously you can take, take Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce for a touchdown score. Minus 150 for Kelce. Minus 165 for Tyreek Hill. If you're feeling froggy, Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown score. This is a rushing, not obviously passing. So it's plus 120. And
he didn't get one last week, did he?
No, so this would be a good time for him to go another primetime game, bounce back. Sorry. Lamar Jackson, one thing I do like is Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Oh, so you're just going to hammer all the Lamar props then.
I think it'll be a bounce back kind of game for him. The Chiefs defense is okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I think Lamar Jackson will be running a lot more, so I might look at the rushing yards because their left tackle is expected to miss this game, and obviously they traded their right tackle to the Chiefs. So the offensive line.
Stanley's out this week.
Stanley's going to be out this week. So it's going to look like he's going to be running for his life a lot. So might hammer a couple of those. And obviously, for him to Patrick Mahomes throw interception plus 145.
No way. I like it. I like it for you there. I'm not touching that one.
Because he throws Pro Football Focus has a stat where it's expected interceptions or passes that should be picked off or something like that. I think he threw 6 of them against the
Browns.
And one was dropped, obviously. And I think other ones like Tyree Hill made good plays on him, or Kelsey made receiver made a good play on it. So he's also, I think the stat is I think he's thrown 1 September interception in his career. I think that's the stat I saw.
He's also undefeated in September in his career.
Right. Exactly.
Last game, Monday Night Football. For some local Lions fans here, we have the Lions going to Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra, taking on Aaron Rodgers. Packers could not have looked any worse in week 1. So again, prime bounce back candidate. The Lions, I've been dogging all year, so I just don't like their roster at all. The one thing I did like was they didn't give up. I watched some of the mic'd ups as well with the coaching staff and stuff. I don't know if I would take the points in this game, but I think there's a prime candidate for Aaron Rodgers is one of those spite people where I think he's going to have a huge game because it's on national TV after everyone said he sucks and he gave up last week. So I think Packers are going to blow him out, but I don't know by how many. So I might just have to do an alternate spread at 7.5 or 7 or something like that. I don't know. But I think Packers for sure are going to easily take care of the Lions. What do you got anything for this one?
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers over 280 yards passing.
I like that.
I like that for him to just shut everyone up. Aaron Rodgers over 2.5 yards or 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Okuda's out as well. We probably should mention too. Just
two rookie cornerbacks.
Yeah, if Devonta, maybe we should do the stack, dude. Maybe we should hammer a Rodgers and Adams stack for this week. This could be the connection. Just
same game parlay. I will build a same game parlay. I'll post it on Twitter. For this game and for this, if this is the game you want to hammer. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers over 280 yards passing, minus 115. Aaron Rodgers over 2.5 passing touchdowns, plus 115. Then you can stack up receiving yards for Devontae Adams, over 85.5. This is pretty low. I think they're going to just show run up.
That's nothing unattainable.
And then Aaron Jones over 67.5 yards rushing.
The one thing I do want to look at actually here is something that I did this week. So I took the main bets that I like that we've kind of touched on are San Fran -3. I really like. Then I have a money line. You can take some teams out, move them around, but I have an all money line parlay that's at plus 600. Again, let me hear your thoughts if you think any teams can lose, but it's Rams, that's over the Colts, the Bills over the Dolphins, the Niners over the Eagles, the Patriots over the Jets, and the Broncos over the Jags. You can get it's a 5-team all money line parlay at plus 600. If you don't have those games, you can take one out. It might drop down to plus 400-ish. But I like those 5 games. No points, don't care. Just win, move on. Plus 600.
Thoughts? You said
we have the Rams over the Colts.
Okay, good.
We have the Bills over the Dolphins.
Good.
The Niners over the Eagles.
Yep.
Patriots over the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And Broncos over the Jags.
So I think it was Bills Dolphins. The only one.
So again, you can take that out. It might drop down to plus 400, we'll say. But hey, there you go. All money lines. They're all favorites. I just think that's a safe spot to be at. I don't care about the spreads right now. I like those 4 to 5 games.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to bring up to you for this NFL slate is I mentioned it last week. I teased a teaser. This week, I have a teaser. 10-game teaser. This is going to be terrible just talking here, but I'm just going to roll through what I have here for you.
Fantasy G. It's Fantasy G style.
I love this teaser. I'm getting Pittsburgh down to minus 0.5. So basically, Pittsburgh has to win.
Mm-hmm.
Cincy plus 8.5 versus the
Bears.
Cleveland -7, touchdown versus Houston. Rams plus a field goal. Bills plus a field goal. Patriots money line. San Fran plus a field goal. Carolina plus 10. Denver money line. Tampa by a touchdown. That's a 10-game teaser. I like all those games. I don't know if
What's
that
that?
for you there.
What is
That's
that? Plus
20 to 1
plus.
odds. 20 to 1 odds right there. Plus
21. I thought they were gonna say
20,
plus. I thought it was 10 to 1.
No, 20 to 1 right there. 10-game teaser. I like all those. A lot of them are just straight up money lines, and other ones are underdogs. I like with points. Just saying. Or the big favorites, take a touchdown off the spread. I like that parlay.
So that's $10 win me 200.
Correct. I will look at that teaser. We'll see how it goes, but I do love the teasers. The throwing runs every once in a while for a little alternate spread action. But those were the plays that I had. And then you mentioned that I really do like that Jonathan Taylor over 58.5 rushing yards. I'll be moving that into a lot of different money line stuff. I mean, maybe I'll parlay some of my NASCAR bets as well. Just to, I just see that as like a lock.
Yeah, so I'm a post some player props as we get closer to the week. Look out for my daily fantasy lineup, which won me $25.
Love to hear that.
I'll take it. I'll post that probably Saturday or Sunday, maybe at 2 hours before kickoff. I like to kind of see what's going to happen. But after I look at the injury report from Friday's practice, then I'll be able to know what's up. But
we're still working on trying to get Kenny or George to hop in here. Get you guys some color commentary with those two. I don't have any of Kenny's picks, but they were 1-2 last week, I believe, for college football.
Listen, the slate, the middle is whatever. The slate's not that great this week. My mouth is so dry. The slate's not the best this week, so it's kind of hard to pick those games. I think it'll be a little bit easier once we get more into conference play and we really know what these teams are. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some more plays up, and be sure to follow us on action. The plays will be posted on the football plays will be posted on action as well. So
I do have one update as well. I told you guys I had a baseball bet last week to bet Max Scherzer NL signing at plus 250. The update is that's now down to plus 125. So I hope any of you guys who follow that, trailed that pick, it now is the odds are cut in half. So he is now the favorite, which I expected. I saw it early and hopped onto it. So I'm glad I got it plus 250, and I hope he continues to pitch well as a Dodger and win me some money here.
There we go. All right, well, that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in live. I got to get to work and post this bad boy up on the podcast apps. That's it, man. We out.
Peace.
All right, appreciate it, Matt.
Yep.
We
need to get. What's that?
I said this football slate was. I was looking. I was like, ooh, that's rough. That's hard to figure out. That's what you like to see, though. As a football fan, these should be some pretty competitive games. Besides the Tampa Bay games.
That's the way you like to twist it in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. I can't bet on them. Might as well just be some good NFL action.
Why didn't you hop into the football pick league? You should have hopped into that. Kenny's in it. George is in it. I'm in
Don't I have time to hop in, or I can't hop in now?
Yeah. You can hop in. You missed week 1, which isn't a big deal. Then you basically, if you want to get in this week, you just put a 1-point loss on the Giants.
Oh, I forgot to do that.
That's all you forgot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fine. I'll get in it.
You can't do the survival pools till they restart, which is
week 4.
Week 7, yeah.
Was it week 4, right?
Yeah, that's the next survival pool starts.
So it's 3-week pools?
There's three survival. They're all separate of each other. So if you lose week 1 on round 1, you get back in for round 4.
Oh, okay.
They're all separate of each other. But yeah, it just allows it so it's all season long instead of being like, hey, you lost in week 4, you're done.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, I gotta run this keg out to this guy.
Right.
So.
I'll send you all my official picks so if you need to post them, whatever. But
yeah, send it. Well, no, if you just tweet them, I'll retweet them, and then I'll add it to the action. That works.
Good.
All right, bro.
All right.